Hi everybody, welcome to this webinar about what French exam you should take if you're looking to certify your French skills. I'm just going to wait 1 more minute to allow people to connect, and we are going to start. Before we start, if you have any question, you can use the Q&A icon to ask questions anytime during the presentation. And we will, of course, take some time at the end to answer any question you have. So please just use the Q&A icon to do that. It will be easier for us to answer this way. So let me see, I think it's 6:05, so we are going to start. So we are going to start with the DELF exam. Yes, everybody is mute. So if you have any question, you just ask in the Q&A icon. There is no video, and we will just put our video after the presentation, like this everybody can see. Okay, so the DELF exam. What is the DELF exam? So the DELF is a diploma awarded by the French Ministry of Education to prove your French language skills, okay? And it's for non-French candidates. Oh, okay. So you will receive your diploma for the rest of your life, so you don't have to take it again in 2 years or in 1 year. So it's valid for all your life, which is really good. And there is 6 levels of the CEFRL. I'm going to explain all the level after that. And you can choose any level of your choice. You don't have to follow the pattern, like start with the beginner and move for intermediate. You can just choose the level you're ready for. So if you're already advanced, you can go directly for the advanced level. So the levels, we have A1, A2, B1, and B2. And after we have C1 and C2. So A1 is the first one, it's the beginner, and C2 is the more advanced. So I'm going to explain every level like this. You can know maybe where you are. To know which level to take, the best is to ask your French teacher. If we don't know you, if you are not a student with us, we are not able to recommend a level. But if you like take some classes at school, or you did in university, or you have a French teacher, you can ask. So there is 2 different types of exam. So there is a DELF Adult, which is from level A1 to C2. And it's evaluated for skills: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. If you want your French skills to be recognized for personal or professional purpose, you can take this exam. So as I said before, it's totally independent, so you can take the level of your choice, but you can't take the same level, like register for A1 twice because it's on the same date everywhere. So you have to choose, but you can choose to do A1 and the next session do A2, for example. So it's really up to you. And after we have the DELF Junior. So the DELF Junior, it's from 12 to 17 years old. If you are 11 or if you are 18, it's also possible to take it. The levels are from A1 to B2. There is no C1 and C2 in the DELF Junior. There is also the 4 skills, so listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So it's really the same exam. The only difference is the test is adapted to the teenage lifestyle, and it's more interesting for teens to take this one because it will really correspond to what you do at school, your interests, your hobbies. So it will be easier for you to take this exam. It might be really hard to take the DELF adults because in the DELF adults you will have you will talk about maybe politics or professional issues, stuff like that. So it's harder. So now the level A1, what is it? So the level A1, it's a basic level. So you need to show the jury that you can interact in a simple way. So you can speak about you and your really immediate environment. So you have the 4 skills: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. For all the levels, you have listening, reading, and writing in the morning and the speaking part in the afternoon with the jury. So it's always the same pattern, but of course, as you go higher, the exercises are harder and more difficult. For the level A2, so it's really also a beginner, but more, well, we will say basic user. So it means you consider as a social actor, so you can communicate simple way, but you can, for example, speak past tense and future tense, and you have more vocabulary. So you still have, as I said, the 4 skills here. As you can see, more we advance, more the tests take longer to do. And you will see here every section is on 25 points. Level B1, so for this level, it's really the independent level. So you can have an interaction, you can give your opinion, and you can really deal with all the situation in a daily life. So you have still the 4 skills. As you can see, it starts to be really a long exam, and you have also a longer time with the jury. Now we can see the level B2, which is the level you will need to have if you want to study in a Francophone university. So usually they ask for this level. It's really advanced level with a good degree of fluency and spontaneity. So we will ask you really more difficult questions during the exam. For example, for the speaking part, you will have 30 minutes to prepare your presentation for the jury. So after 30 minutes, we really expect to have a good presentation with a good structure of the language, a good vocabulary, and we use really formal vocabulary. So it's really a good level to have if you want to study in a Francophone university or if you want to work in a Francophone country. So now we arrive to the 2 advanced level. So the first one is C1. So usually people who take C1 is because they already studied in a university in French, and so they want to take this exam. So you can see it's really a long exam, this one. You have 1 hour of preparation and 30 minutes with the jury, for example, with the speaking part. So in this level, we don't judge your language skills. We judge your language skills, but not just your language skills. We also judge your ability to give your opinion, give argument, give example, also study some text. So it's really like a university level. And the last level is the C2. So this one is really like a bilingual level. And it's really when you have an academic purpose, really high. So as you can see, this one is not the same pattern. So you have the listening and speaking together. And after you have the comprehension and the writing. So it's really a hard level to take. Not a lot of people take it, but it's there if you need. So to prepare your exam, well, you can take some classes with our amazing teacher. We have amazing teacher, sorry, and they know the exam, so it's really good to prepare that with them. You can also borrow some books in our library. So we have some books to help you prepare the exam. There is samples, the correction and everything. So it's really good. Or you can go to this website, which is France Éducation International website. And there is some samples paper with correction. So it's really good to do that. I really recommend to prepare your exam to know what to expect, because it's really a high level exam. Even if you took A1 or A2, it's really important to know what to expect during the exam. So if you want to register for the exam, so you can go on our website and you need to choose which DELF you want to take, and after you can choose your date. So for the DELF adults, every year it's the same. We have an exam in March, in June and in November. For the DELF Junior, it's the same. We always have the same months during the year. So it will be April, May, June, and November. And as soon as it's on the website, you can register for sure. There is no issue. Sometimes there is no more spots, so you can register for the next session. So now I'm going to speak about another test, which is called Evalang. So it's a completely different test. It's something you can do online. The DELF exam is in person. So it's really like a placement test if you just want to have an idea of your level. For example, to take a class, to register for a class, or just to show your employers your level. It's also a good test to take. So how does it work? So it's really it's online, and it's so you will answer some questions, and depending of your answer, it will adjust. So as you can see, it's really good to see which course is the best for you, and also for your career. It's always good to have that. So you go online, and you will be assessed for your oral and written comprehension, grammar, and vocabulary skills. Okay, it exists in French, but also in English if you need. You just need a computer, and it's only $20. Okay, and as you can see here, we will tell you what is your it's like approximative level for each skills. But here, as you can see, there is just 3 skills. Okay, you don't have the speaking one because it's just online. You don't speak to anybody, you're just answering questions. Okay, so as I said, it's really in real time. So depending on the answer, you will have harder and harder question, or when it's enough, you will stop. So there is still the 6 skills I explained to you, but they break it in 6 levels down to have really a better evaluation. So as you can see, you have each time A1, A1 plus, A2, A2 plus, etc. And so it's what I said before. So A1 is the beginner level, and more you go, more it's advanced. So to register, it's the same. You can just go on our website. You just have to complete the form and pay the fees, and we will send you a code in your email address, and you will be able to go on the website of Evalang, use the code we gave you, and do the test. And after, you will see directly your results. So it's really easy to take. And it's really good if you don't want something like you don't want to take the DELF because like it's too much, it's really a big exam, you just want to have an idea of your level. That's the best test to do. Okay, so I don't know if there is question. If you have any questions, you can ask in the Q&A. Hi, everybody. Now you can see me. So before we move to the TEF and TCF exam, if you have any question on the DELF or the Evalang, you can ask your questions. Okay, I can see there is no question yet. So I'm going to give Sigrid the lead, and she will explain to you the TEF and TCF, and you can still put your question in the Q&A answer at any time. Sigrid, you can go.
Thank you, Sophie. Okay, so we're going to talk about the TEF exam. So the TEF is an exam recognized by the Canadian government, and it's organized by the Chambre of Commerce in Paris. And it's recognized by the French, Quebec, and Canadian governments. And usually you take this exam for immigration purpose. So most of the candidates that we have here in Calgary, they take the TEF Canada. So the TEF Canada, it's composed of 4 parts. The first 2 parts, they have a QCM format. So there is the reading comprehension and the listening comprehension. And every time you have 4 answers offered, only 1 is correct, and you have to select the right one. And the 2 other parts, they are the production parts. So the written production and the oral production. So the written production, you have 2 parts in it and 1 hour to complete them. And the oral production, it lasts about 15 to 20 minutes, and you have 2 subjects to cover. The first part, you have to ask question to the teacher about an advertise that you have. And the second part, you have to convince the teacher to participate to an activity with you. So you are judged on your convincing skills. So the TEF Canada is computer-based. The results are valid for 2 years. And you can take it as many times as you want, but you need to wait 1 month between 2 takes. And the full exam, so the 4 parts of the exam, cost $380. So we're going to see a few examples of each part of the TEF Canada. So the first part is the written comprehension. You can see here that you have an easy text, and you need to choose the right option by saying what type of documents it is. If you have the correct answer, you get 1 point. If you don't answer the question, or if you have the wrong answer, it's 0 point, but it's not negative. It's not -1 every time. And the more you advance in the exam, the harder and the longer the texts are. So the second part of the exam is the oral comprehension. So you hear twice a dialogue or an audio, and you have to select the right answer. So it's the same type of question as in the written comprehension. You select the right answer, you have 1 point. You don't answer or you have the wrong answer, it's 0 point. So the third part of the exam is the written production. In this part of the exam, you have 2 subparts. So the first part of the written production, you have the beginning of a story and you have to invent the end of the story. And we ask you a minimum of 80 words. So here you are judged on the quality of your writing, if you're using the grammar correctly, and if you have basic or rich vocabulary. And the second written production, you have to defend a point of view. So you have an information, you have a sentence, and you have to explain if you agree with it or not. And this one is bigger. We ask for 200 words. And it's the same as the first one. You are judged on the quality of your writing, your grammar, the vocabulary that you are using, etc. And the last part is the oral production. So you talk with the teacher for 15 minutes. So the first part, it's a formal situation. You have to ask information about an advertising that you saw maybe on internet or in the newspaper. So you ask a question and the teacher is answering you. So here you are judged on the vocabulary that you use and how your ability to ask a question. And the second part is more informal. So the teacher is your friend and you have to convince him or her to participate to an activity with you. And this one lasts for 10 minutes. So you need to take your time and be really convincing and have lots of arguments to be able to convince the teacher. And after these 4 parts, you are done with the exam. So this is another example of the first part of the exam. You have to ask questions about hiking. And here, so the second part of the exam, you have to convince the teacher to take a trip to Quebec with you. So how to prepare for the exam? You have several choices. You can use the application Prep My Future. So this one is $45, and you can practice all the different parts of the exam. So the oral and the writing part. And you have lots of official mock exam, you have grammar recaps, you have TEF activities to improve your score. So this one is really good, and it's accessible for 12 months. So even if you need to take the TEF several times, you can still access the application for 12 months. So that's the first option. The second option, of course, is to take private classes with our teachers. So our teachers are also jury of the exam, of the TEF exam, so they know exactly how to prepare for the exam and what is going to be asked in the exam, so they can like really prepare you the best way possible. And the third option is to borrow books from our library. So we have a few books to prepare for the TEF with exercises, CDs, audios, and corrections. So it's another good way to prepare. So to register for the exam, you just need to go on the website, complete and submit the form, send a piece of ID by email, and then pay for the fees on the website. The important thing is to do that at least 10 business days before the exam, so we have the time to do the registration, etc. And after that, after you completed those 3 steps, we send you a confirmation by email with all the information for your exam. So the other exam for the immigration is the TCF. So it's kind of the same type of exam. The TCF is recognized by the French and Canadian government, and it helps the non-native French speaker to assess their level, and we usually use it for professional purpose, personal purpose, or academic purpose, and for immigration. For example, if you apply for the permanent residency in Canada, you have the choice between the TEF Canada or the TCF Canada. So the TCF Canada has 4 parts. The oral comprehension, it lasts 35 minutes and you have 39 questions. It's the same type as the TEF. You have a document and you need to, they offer you like 4 or 5 answers possible. And if you choose the right one, you have 1 point. If you don't, it's 0 point. Then you have the written comprehension. It lasts for 1 hour and still 39 questions. It's the same, it's a QCM type of exam. Then you have the written expression. So this one is a bit different. It lasts for 1 hour, but you have 3 topics to cover compared to the TEF that has 2. But the 3 topics that you have for the TCF, they are less bigger than the TEF one. And the last part is the oral expression. So this one is a bit different too. So it lasts for 12 minutes and you have 3 subjects to cover. The first one, you need to just introduce yourself, talk about yourself for 2 minutes. The second part, you need to ask question about a document. So it's kind of the same as the TEF. And the last one, that's the one that is different. You have 2 minutes to prepare for a question. So you have a question about it could be about internet, about the world, about the environment. You have a general question and they ask for your point of view. So you have 2 minutes to prepare for this one and then explain your point of view, give your point of view about this question. For example, you can have a question like, the world was better before internet. And you have 2 minutes to prepare to give your opinion about that, if you agree or not. So the TCF Canada that we offer here at the Alliance Française is paper-based. So you will do everything on paper, except the oral with the teacher, but everything, the rest will be on paper. Compared to the TEF Canada that is computer-based. So for the TEF, everything is online, computer-based. And for the TCF, it's going to be paper-based. The results are valid for 2 years. And you can take the TCF as many times as you wish, just like the TEF, but you need to wait 1 month before 2 takes. And the price is the same, $380. So how to prepare for the exam? So you have also 3 options. You can take private classes with our teachers, borrow books from the library. So it's the same as the TEF. We also have specific books for that with lots of activities and CDs, audios, and correction. Or you can go on the website France Éducation Internationale. That's the company responsible of the exam. And you can access also preparation documents on their website. So if you want to register for the TCF exam, you have 3 steps to follow. You complete and submit the form, but this one has to be submitted at least 3 weeks before the date of the exam, because the process of the registration is way more longer than the one for the TEF exam. Then you need to send a piece of ID by email and pay the fees on the website. After that, after those 3 steps, we will send you a confirmation by email with all the information for your exam. Est-ce que vous avez des questions? If you have questions about the TEF or the TCF exam. So you can put your question, or maybe for the DELF exam.
So please put your question in the Q&A and not in the chat. It's easier for us to answer. So we have one question, which test is more universally recognized? So it depends of why you take the test. So if you need to take your test for university, you need to take the DELF exam. If you need to your test for immigration, DELF, you don't need the DELF, it's not recognized, so you need to take the TF or the TCF. So I would say the DELF exam is universally recognized because it's an exam you can take for your job, your university, study, etc. As the TEF and the TCF is just for immigration.
Okay, so we have another question. Oh no, just thank you. Merci. You're welcome. Does anyone has a question about the exam? No?
Okay, well, thank you everybody. The video will be online on our YouTube channel in maybe 1 or 2 weeks if you want to watch again. And if you have any question, you can just call us directly or send an email and we'll be happy to answer any question you have. So don't hesitate. We wish you a happy Easter weekend, happy long weekend. Enjoy the good weather and the spring. And see you soon.
Have a nice evening. Au revoir.